morning, children. Today we are going to start our learning in English for this week by revisiting how to use an apostrophe to show contraction. This is a concept which we started to learn in autumn term, but we are going to revisit it again because we are going to be using contractions in our writing this week. So, to help us to remember and to understand what contractions are, I have found a rather funny video which I would like to share with you, children. And I would like you to pay attention to it and see if you can notice what happens to the letters that get squashed out. What happens instead? So, children, what did you notice in the video? What happened to the letters that got squashed out? That's right, they got replaced by an apostrophe. By an apostrophe. So let's have a look at our learning today. We have the full form of the words, or we also call it expanded form, and we have the contraction or the contracted form. Now, in the video, we had the words there is, two words which got squashed together, children, and which letter was squashed out. That's right, it was the letter I that got squashed out. So instead of the letter I, where the letter I would have been, we need to put an apostrophe. So instead of there is, we have theirs, a contracted form, theirs. The same happens in where is. Again, we have two words, where is, and the letter I gets squashed out, and instead of the letter I, we have an apostrophe. So instead of where is, we have the contracted form where's. In I am, it's slightly different because which letter got squashed out, children? That's right, it's the letter A, isn't it? The letter A. So instead of I am, I just have I and so I have an apostrophe to show that the letter A got squashed out. So I have I'm, a contraction, I'm. Now, this is a slightly tricky one. Now, we have two words. They are. Children, which letter gets squashed out when we contract the two words together? That's right, it's the letter A. The letter A gets squashed out, and instead of the letter A, we just have an apostrophe. So we end up with the word there. There. Now, this is another word there, and this is yet another word there. Children, what do you notice? There, there, there. That's right, they all sound the same, don't they, children? They all sound the same. And when we have words which all sound the same but are written differently, we call them homophones. Homophones. Children, can you say that? That's right, homophones. So homophones are words which sound the same, but they are written differently. So let's have a look at this homophone there. Well, we know that that is a contraction for they are because we have an apostrophe there. How about the homophone there? Well, I know that this doesn't have an apostrophe in it, so it's not short for any two words. It actually means over there, as in over there I spotted a tall tree. So it means a direction there. And then we have the final there. Do you know what this means? That's right, it means that something belongs to them. So, for example, the girls hung their coats on the pegs. It means that the coats belong to the girls. They're their coats. Did you hear that, children? I used two of the homophones in that sentence. They are their coats. They're their coats. Lovely. Let's move on to the next one, children. So far, all our examples were examples of where only one letter gets squashed out and replaced by an apostrophe. But let's have a look at this example. I would. And this is the contracted form. Children, how many letters are replaced by an apostrophe? That's right, 4 letters, children. W-O-U-L. All get replaced by one apostrophe. Children, if we are replacing 4 letters, do we need 4 apostrophes? No, we don't. We only need one apostrophe, which replaces all the letters. Lovely. Now let's have a look at another example. I have. How many letters will get squashed out and replaced by an apostrophe, children? That's right, 2 letters, H and A, squashed out and they are replaced by an apostrophe. So we end up with the word I've. Now we have to be careful, children, because sometimes people say instead of I have, they say I of. That is grammatically incorrect, and our Queen would definitely not use I of. We wouldn't say I of. We would say I have, children. So be careful to use the correct form in your writing, children. Now let's have a look what is our next example. We are. If we create a contraction, becomes we're. And how many letters have we missed out? That's right, 1, just the letter A. Let's have a look at this. Were. These two words are written almost the same, aren't they, children? What's different? That's right, we're has an apostrophe and it's short for we are. Were doesn't have an apostrophe, and it means, for example, they were going for a walk but decided against it because it was raining. So they were doing something. And in fact, we pronounce it slightly differently, children. But when we write those two words, I know that we often get them confused in our writing, so we do have to be careful. Now let's have a look at the last example. It is. We have two words. It is, and they become squashed together, children, and become it's. That's right. We replace the letter I for an apostrophe. But how about it's without an apostrophe, children? What is the difference? Let's have a look together. Let's have a look at this sentence. It's raining. I know that I need to use it's with an apostrophe because it is short for it is. It is a contracted form of it is. And I could easily write, instead of it's raining, I could write it is raining, like this. However, let's have a look at this sentence. The peacock had loads of feathers. Its feathers were colorful. Now, children, can we replace it's in this sentence for it is? Could we say it is feathers were colorful? No, we can't. That wouldn't make sense. So we definitely know that this it does not need an apostrophe because it is not a contraction. In fact, it means that something belongs, the feathers belong to something. In this instance, they belong to peacock. So it shows us possession, children. It shows that something is being owned or possessed by something else. So, children, let me explain the tasks to you. You are going to have this lovely PowerPoint attached to the tapestry post, children. This PowerPoint gives you loads of lovely activities where you can practice using apostrophes for contraction. So please do have a look at as many activities from this PowerPoint as you like until you understand how to use apostrophes for contraction. However, we also need to make sure that you can use the apostrophes in your own writing. So here is a little written practice for you. You have a choice of 4 tasks. It would be really lovely if you could choose 2 of those 4 tasks and complete them. And they start from the easiest to the most difficult. So choose the 2 tasks that are not too easy and not so difficult that you just end up really frustrated because you have no idea what to do. Choose a task that will extend your learning, challenge you a little bit, but not too much. Now let's have a look. The first task is called apostrophe ands. In the apostrophe ands, all you need to do is draw a line to match the contraction to the full form or the expanded form of the 2 words. Very easy, children, and I know all of you would be able to do this. The second task is called Andrew apostrophe, and this has 2 parts. You need, in the first part, you are given 2 words and you need to write their contraction. And then it's the other way around. You are given a contraction and you need to write the expanded form of those 2 words. The third task is called the contraction detective. In the contraction detective, you are given a full sentence with the expanded form of 2 words in it. So, for example, in the morning, they will be going on holiday. And your task is to rewrite a sentence using the contracted form. So, for example, in the morning, they'll be going on holiday. So, they will has been contracted into they'll. Okay, and the final task, children, which is the most challenging, you need to find where there are missing apostrophes. So you have sentences and you need to find which words have a missing apostrophe. Be careful because not every single word will be needing an apostrophe, and you have to think carefully. Think, can you replace that word for two words instead? So, for example, can you replace it for it is, and would the sentence still make sense, children? So these are your tasks. If you still need another challenge because you feel like, yes, I would definitely want to learn how to use the apostrophe for contraction really, really well, or maybe if you end up struggling with some of these contractions, a good way to remember them and learn them is to write those contractions in your own sentences, children. So these are your tasks for today. I'm very much looking forward to seeing all your work on the tapestry. Bye for now.